Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. In our today's session, we are going the quick recap of chapter number 2, which is matter around us pure? Chapter 2 of chemistry, that is matter around us pure. We are going to see a quick look on whole of the lesson. If we talk about the complete lesson, then this lesson is containing basically two parts. First of all, you are having about all the things regarding the basic things of the matter, its classification, mixture, purification technique. So, in this way, the complete lessons revision we are going to discuss. The very first thing is if we talk about anything that is matter, it is bifurcated into two parts, that is pure substance and impure substance. So matter is basically bifurcated into two types, pure and impure. If we talk about pure, then pure is bifurcated as elements and compounds. Compounds is when elements are combining in the fixed ratio. If we talk about mixture, impure substance, then in that we are having mixture. Mixture is of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. If we talk about elements, then elements are of three types, which is metals, non-metals, and semi-metals. So now let us understand about it. In the pure substance, we are having two things, elements and compounds. Elements are those things that are available in the purest form. You cannot further bifurcate it. They are categories, metals, non-metals and semi-metals. We have discussed about its physical properties too. If we talk about metals, then these are the substances which are having the physical properties like they are sonorous, having high melting point. Even the chemical properties of the metals are different that you have studied in class 8. Coming to non-metals, these are the things that are uh, generally totally all factors of non-metals are opposite to that of the metals. Semi-metals, they are having both the things, that is metal and non-metal in some proportion. Mixture comes this important point, that is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. This is a very important difference that is generally asked in exams, that is about the mixtures, which is difference which is generally asked about the homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. In homogeneous, everything will remain uniform. Example, salt plus water. The solute and solvent both will mingle with each other, while in heterogeneous substances that are getting, they will have their, they will not change the properties, not mix up with, and they'll form the separate layer. Then we are having few of the characteristics of all, that is the pure substance and the mixture. If we talk about the characteristics of pure substance, then a pure substance is made up of the same kind of particles. Like for example, if we see hydrogen, and then whole of the hydrogen will be made up of hydrogen atoms only. None of the oxygen atom will come from hydrogen. Why? Because it is made up of same kind of material. Then a pure substance is always homogeneous, irrespective of uh, the way from where it has come, that is its preparation, or irrespective of its origin. Pure substance has definite properties and characteristics of itself. Pure substance has the same composition throughout. Okay, for example, H2O water. Then water में क्या होता है? There is fixed proportion, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. CO2, 1 carbon and 2 oxygen. There will be no kind of variation in it. Homogeneous and heterogeneous. If we talk about homogeneous substance, that is the basic property of the mixture. First, let us understand the composition is not at all fixed, whether it is homogeneous or heterogeneous. Right now, we are discussing the characteristics of mixture. They are having variable composition. ये एक बहुत important पहला point है. The composition is not fixed. It is in some of the proportion. For example, if you are mixing salt with water, you can mix it in any proportion. You can make it very salty or less salty or almost no salty. So this is how it can change. Then comes physical change. Mixture is the result of the physical change. Uh, there will be no kind of chemical bonding between them. None of the, like if you are mixing salt and water, then uh, what will happen? There'll be the bonds will split up and the water will become salty. But if you are mixing salt and sand, you can see both of them separate. So that is what it is, an example of the mixture. They have no specific properties. They are having the properties of the uh, the constituent itself. Then homogeneity. Most of the mixture are heterogeneous, uh, but some are homogeneous. In the example of heterogeneous mixture, the mixture of iron and sulfur. Then comes separation. तो separation के ऊपर तो rest of the chapter is there, and chemical constituents of mixtures are separated by simply the physical means. Then energy changes. No energy is released or absorbed during the formation of any kind of mixture. Okay, so that is about some of the properties which you have to, characteristics of the mixture, with that you have to keep in your brain. Then you are having about the homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture, which we have discussed right now. Uh, it is depending on the state of matter, that is solid, liquid, gas, which type of mixture it is. If it is gas and gas, then it is air, which is homogeneous mixture. If it's gas and liquid, then it is aerated water, like a pani gas. Carbonated drinks are also example of it. Gas and solid, the hydrogen in palladium. Hydrogen is stored in palladium. हाइड्रोजन का फॉर्मेशन होता है, उसके बाद उसे स्टोर कहाँ किया जाता है? इट इज स्टोर इन पैलेडियम. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल ऑफ मिक्सचर. Then liquid and liquid, then in that homogeneous and heterogeneous both are possible. In water you are adding alcohol, then it will be a homogeneous mixture, but if in water you are adding oil, then it will be a heterogeneous mixture. Liquid and solid, that is the mercury. If mercury is used to make the alloy, now mercury is in liquid state. If it is combining with any of the solid substance to make the alloy, then it is the liquid in solid. Then comes solid in the liquid, that is sugar and water. Heterogeneous mixture is also possible by adding chalk to the water. Then solid and solid, example is homogeneous, for that example is alloy. For heterogeneous it is sand and iron and sulfur, any of this. Okay, the difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous is very important. Here the uniform composition, here there will be no uniform composition. Then if we talk about homogeneous mixture, then example of uh, homogeneous mixture is air, blood, air, blood, while here it's oil and water. Here particles cannot be seen by naked eye. The constituent here they can be seen by can be seen. Okay. Here the difference is extremely important. It can come in 2 marks. Please note it down. Then we'll move further. I hope you have noted it down. The difference is especially important over here, and this is the basic classification of matter. Moving on the next part. If we talk about the types of mixture on the this was types of mixture on the basis of composition. Now on the basis of particle size it is of three types, that is true solution, suspension solution and colloidal solution. But before we understand any of this type of solution, let us first understand what is a solution. Uh, the basic definition of the solution is, let me read it. The mixture of two or more substances with only one phase, that is having no distinct boundary of constituent particles, it is called as solution. And it is a mixture of the solute and the solvent. There are two components of any of the solution. Always remember the definition is very important and you have to memorize it word to word. Okay, what a solution is a mixture of two or more substances that is having only one phase, that is there is no distinct boundary of the constituent particles, and examples of it is lemonade and all the soft drinks. Then coming to components. Components means anything that is present in the small quantity, that is solute. Many times you know, but the answer, you know the content, but you don't know what is the answer. For example, if we ask you give the name of the components of the solution, then you will start thinking. So for that you need to understand components are two, that is solute and solvent, less in proportion and more in proportion. Okay, then it's the two types of solution, that is saturated or unsaturated. Saturated means the solution in which you cannot add more solute to it. Types of solution. In that, first is the category of saturated and unsaturated. What is saturated solution? So, when a solution cannot dissolve more solid at a given temperature, the point is called as the saturation point and the solution is called as the saturated solution. No more solute can be added. Unsaturated means solute can be added. There is limit for everything. So, if more and more amount solid is going on getting added, then in that case we need to see that uh, at a particular point it will stop adding. So that is called as saturation point. No more solid can be added. That particular temperature is called as saturation point. And uh, when solid can be added, then it is called as the unsaturated solution. So you can, if you go on adding sugar, then there will be a point where you can not add any more sugar in it. That is called as the unsaturated. Then you are having another point on types of solution is depending on the phase. That is depending on the you can say depending on their state of matter. It can be solid solution. That means both solute and solvent are the solid substance. The best example of it is alloy. Alloys are the homogeneous mixtures, or you can say these are the type of solutions in which solute as well as solvent, anything that you are adding, both are in which state of matter? Solid state of matter. Then comes solid and liquid. Example is salt and water. This is the solute, this is solvent. Example of it is salt and water. After that, you are having about liquid and liquid solution. That is ethyl alcohol and water. Then you are having the gas and liquid. Example is CO2 that is getting dissolved in all the soft drinks. Then you are having gas and gas, which is air. In air, you are having different gases in different proportion. So air is a solution of many gases like hydrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. This is about the types of solution. Then coming to the characteristics of solution. Solutions are homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Particles are mixed evenly throughout. There is only one phase and boundaries cannot be distinguished. Particles of matter of solution. The particle size is of about 1 nanometer. Okay, so generally any of the true solution is called as, it is coming under the category of the solution. Then comes solubility and the factors that are affecting solubility. But before we do that, note down this content, then we'll move further on the factors which are uh, affecting solubility, which is the temperature, nature of the substance and pressure. In pressure we are having about Henry's law, which we have already discussed, but we are going to have a quick look on it. And after that you are having about concentration of a solution. Okay, so please note down this, then we'll move further. Be quick. I hope you have noted the content. Now let's move further. See important points for revision, note it down, it will help you out when you are revising the content. Okay, then comes the solubility. Solubility means what? It denotes that how much maximum amount of solute can be dissolved in solvent. Okay, and amount of solute present in 100 ml of a saturated solution at a particular temperature, that is called as the solubility of the solute. Okay, the factors on which solubility depends: temperature, nature of substance, and the last category on which the solubility depends is the pressure. Here important is, more the temperature, more will be the solubility. Think if you want to dissolve salt in water, more hot water is, more quickly it will happen. So more the temperature, more will be the solubility. Then comes nature of the substance. That is like dissolves like. Now what is this? That is like dissolves like. For that you need to understand one very important thing. That is the polar solvent will get dissolved in the polar solutes, and uh, polar solid will get dissolved in the polar solvent, non-polar in the non-polar. Non-polar solute will get dissolved in the non-polar solvent. Then comes pressure. Pressure is affecting the solubility of the gas, and it is directly related to the pressure. And this is also called as the Henry's law. That is, more the pressure, more will be the solubility. Less the pressure, less will be the solubility. Then you are having next very important point about the concentration of a solution. Uh, when we were doing the biology revision, that time or even while doing the biology, I have talked to you. That is, concentration is in terms of solute, the while the osmosis is in terms of the solvent. So here concentration of a solute is amount of proportion of solute that is present in the solvent. You can also take it uh, in the proportion of solution. That is about the concentration of a solution. Then concentration can be expressed in two ways, that is the mass percentage or volume percentage. Now what is this mass percentage? And when you are taking anything in percentage, what do you need to do? You just need to multiply. So there are two ways, one is mass percentage, another one is volume percentage. If about mass percentage, then mass percentage is the amount of solute, that is the mass of solute upon mass of solvent. But because it is in percentage, we need to multiply by 100. Volume percentage is the volume of solute upon volume of solvent into 100. So in this way, we can uh, you can categorize in this way the concentration of a solution. Please note it down, then we'll move further. I hope you have noted it. As we discussed about the solution, then solution is of three types. That is true solution, suspension solution and colloidal solution. Just now we'll see the very quickly about the difference between the three types of solution and in detail colloid. Uh, Whatever part we are able to do, we'll try to do. Properties, true solution, suspension solution and colloidal solution. This is how the three are bifurcated. We'll quickly understand the difference between them. The very first one is the size of the particles. True solution, its range is less than 1 nanometer. Colloidal is from 1 to 1000 nanometer. Suspension, it's more than 1000 nanometer. Then coming to the next part, the nature. If it's true solution, then we are knowing it is homogeneous. If it's heterogeneous suspension solution, then it is heterogeneous. If it's colloidal, then it appears as homogeneous, but actually it is heterogeneous. Then comes filterability. That means how it will be moving. Through the filter paper, particles will diffuse. If it's a true solution, then suspension will not be able to pass through the filter paper or parchment paper, but colloidal will be able to pass through filter paper but not through the parchment paper. That is about the filterability. Next thing is the Tyndall effect. Okay, if it's a true solution, then it will not show Tyndall effect. If it's suspension, it may or may not show, but colloids always show Tyndall effect. Colloids, it shows Tyndall effect. This is about the visibility. The next one is appearance. True solution is transparent. Suspension solution is opaque, while colloidal solution is translucent. Here, example, salt plus water, chalk plus water, while here milk. Okay, so this is about the three types of solution. Please note down this table. This is very important. You can understand it from this table very quickly about the properties. Please note it down quickly. I hope you have noted this content. It's very important as far as exams are concerned. Okay, so this is about today's content. And now further next lecture we'll meet and we'll discuss about the colloids in detail. The colloids and the separation technique, these are the two things that are left out, which we'll see in the further lecture. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening to me and have a very good day. That's